Hi there, Marina Newington here, and I help entrepreneurial women turbo boost their productivity so they get more stuff done in less time. And today I want to talk to you about your 6 month plan going forward. I also am going to have a wonderful resource for you that's going to help you really get focused and really get you targeted on what it is that you need to be doing. So stick around to the end and I'll tell you how you can get your hands on that, and that's really going to help you out. So I wanted to launch in today to talking about 2020. Now listen, this has not been the year that we have been expecting. I think it is fair to say. I started the year with a lot of excitement and a lot of talk about this is the year of clarity. I'm going to see clearly, and instead it's all turned upside down. It's been really difficult and challenging for all of us as we've had one thing after another. We've had the COVID, we've had the lockdown, we've had all the racial issues with Black Lives Matter, and there's been a lot of upheaval. There have been interesting choices from all of our governments, and it's been tough. It's been difficult. And I don't want you to lose heart. And what I want to tell you is that we are only halfway through the year. Now we are going straight back to, is your glass half full or is it half empty? Now listen, my friend, there is no reason to have a half empty glass. Okay, if you live life with a half full glass, you will have a much better time of it. I tell you this. So 6 months are gone, and they may have gone wonderfully for you, or as for a lot of us, they might have been challenging and things might have been turned upside down. But do not despair about the year, because we have another 6 months left of this year. There is a lot to do, okay? There's a lot that can be done. There's a lot that can be accomplished. And I know that you are able to move forward. Okay, so what I want to talk to you today is, what I want to talk to you about today is the 6 month plan going forward. All right, so I'm going to give you 7 steps. All right, 7 steps to make the next 6 months magic. All right, now step 1, we're going to start with a big picture. And I think that this year it's a really important thing to add this step in, or to make sure you do this step. So, for example, taking myself as an example, at the beginning of the year, I had, set my plan, I had set my goals, I had set the projects I was going to do that were going to generate revenue, my promotions, I had done all this. Wonderful. Now, here's the problem. COVID came and it knocked everything on its head. And what it has given me and allowed me to do is really take a step back and reassess whether this is exactly what I wanted to be doing, and whether the goals that I had set in January are still aligned with where I want to be and where I want to be going. So this is what I'm talking about in step 1, which is to look at your big picture and see if what you have planned out for yourself is still what you want to do. A lot of things have happened during this lockdown, and a lot of us have questioned what we're doing. A lot of us have reassessed. And if you haven't, it's a really good opportunity to do so, because, it feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. At least here in London, it does. We're hopefully, on Saturday, restaurants are supposed to be opening. Travel is supposed to open. We're supposed to get some air bridges, and our borders will open, and we'll have some summer holidays. I know I'm supposed to be going away on the 13th. It looks like things are moving forward. So it's a really good time to make that assessment and see. So for example, and I'm just talking about this bit a lot because I think it's really important. My big plan was to create a digital course for PowerSystem. Now, PowerSystem is my 5-step process that I have created to help entrepreneurial women to get the time and financial freedom that they crave. So PowerSystem is a 5-step process, and I take my one-to-one clients through it, and it's a 6-month program. So I was going to turn it into a digital course, which is really comprehensive, to bring it to more people at a lower price point, and so I could reach more people and help more women to achieve that transformation and to feel good about themselves again. But having gone through this whole COVID thing, I came to realize that what I would really like to do right now is focus on the second pillar of PowerSystem, which is the productivity. O is for order, and it's about making sure that you're in control of your schedule so that you are in control of your schedule and your schedule doesn't rule your life. And I've been on 2 productivity summits as an expert. I've been on a whole bunch of podcasts, and I've been interviewed, and I've just contributed for another book on it called Unleash Today. And I'm about to speak next week at the Global Women's Summit on productivity again. And it became very clear to me that this is what I should be focusing on. So, my big picture changed, that I decided I am going to do this course. I'm sticking with doing this digital course, but I'm going to focus it all on productivity, and I'm going to speak to you guys about productivity. And this has been a huge help in figuring out exactly what I need to do over the next 6 months, right? In terms of my content, in terms of my creation, in terms of my offerings, everything. So that's why I tell you, and I've spent so much time talking about this, the big picture is critical. So I want you to start with number 1, what is the big picture? And look at what you had going before, and is it still aligned with what you want to do? And if not, how have your learnings over the last 4 months changed and affected what you want to do going forward? Okay, so now that you've done that, number 2 is to celebrate success. Okay, this is so critical. Let's take a look back at the last 6 months and see what has worked. What can we go give you a big woohoo for? What can we celebrate? What have you done that has worked for you? What has worked well? What has generated revenue? What's generated followers? Whatever your metrics or targets are, whatever it is that you're trying to grow. Has your email list grown? Have your followers grown? Have you, made money? Have you gotten more clients? What is it, whatever it is that you have that has been a success? And I want you to take a look at that. First of all, to celebrate it. So well done you. Yay! Yay! You deserve a gold star. There it is. And, take a moment to, be happy and grateful for what you have achieved. Then let's take a look at that and dive in deeper into that. What has worked for you? In case, you're having a hard time with the big picture and figuring out what it is, right? What has worked? This could also be like a difficult thing to go through. That's why I've created this amazing resource. I'm going to give you the link for it at the end, but it's 6 steps to for entrepreneurial women to get more done in less time. And it's all about how to focus on what it is that generates your revenue and your results, right? So it really helps you hone in on the 20% of things that you do that generate 80% of your revenue, of your results, of your activities. So please do download this free worksheet to figure it out, and it'll help you through this process that we're talking through here of figuring out those things. But look at those things that celebrate your success, that generated your success rather. And, can you dive deeper into them? So for example, if you did a workshop and it really worked for you and it was really successful, what more can you do like that in the next 6 months? What more can you do if you started doing Facebook Lives and they're working for you like this one? Can you do more of them? If whatever it is that you've been doing, if you've been doing blogs and people have been clicking through to your website and you've been getting much more views, can you do more blogs? What are the topics that people are interested in? Can you focus more on those topics? Take a look at what has worked and do more of that over the next 6 months. And maybe the things that you had planned that haven't been working, reassess that. Maybe that's not what you want to be focusing on. Okay, so now that we know what our big picture is, now that we know what's worked for us, we've gone through my amazing worksheet and we focus on what those 20% of activities are. Now we need to set some goals. Okay, so step 3 is setting goals. And I want to talk to you about stretching goals, and very briefly I'm going to talk to you about SMART goals. I know a lot of people talk about SMART goals, and later on I'm actually going to do a whole live a whole lesson on what SMART goals are exactly, because in August, I'm actually going to be running a workshop on how to set the perfect goal for you, because I think that a lot of people get confused about this, and I am so excited to help you out with this and work you through this. But just in brief, what I want you to do with a stretching goal, okay, what I would really like you to do is set yourself a target that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, that isn't impossible. So you don't want to set yourself a goal that is so difficult to attain that you're not going to achieve it, and you're going to feel discouraged, and you're going to feel disappointed, and you're going to feel a sense of failure, because there's no point in doing that. But you, by the same token, don't want to set a goal that you can lickety-split achieve and it's so easy peasy. What you want to do is you want to set yourself a goal that is stretching and out there and outside of your comfort zone. But you know what? With some elbow grease and a bit of hard work, you can make that happen. That's the kind of goal you want to set. So take a look. Let's go back to the workshops, right? Let's say you did some workshops, you did a workshop, it really worked for you, and you're going to do another 2 workshops, 3 workshops, whatever it is. It's a lot of work to put one together. So let's say you're going to do 2 more workshops for the rest of the year. So, okay, maybe 3 workshops. That's the first bit of the stretching. How much can you do? How much time do you have to allocate toward this? It's up to you to decide, right? Let's say you're going to be able to allocate enough time to make 2 amazing workshops. So you set yourself a goal that you're going to do 2 workshops. Okay. Then you have to start setting yourself some targets. How many people are going to come to those workshops? What revenue are you going to generate from that? What are you going to charge? And you have to think through all of those things. It's good to start at the beginning. How much do you want to make from that? Then think, how much are you going to charge for that? So how many people do you want to get into that workshop? And to get those people into that workshop, what do you need to make happen? Do you need to put some money into Facebook ads? Do you need to do a webinar? Do you need to, what is it that you need to do? Do you need to try to get on some online forums? Do you need to get on some podcasts and promote it? Do you need to guest blog? There are lots of different things. So, those are tactics, which is the next thing we're going to go down to, which is about creating a timeline and target. So I've kind of segued into that. But, just finishing off on goals, set what your goal is. So the goal is, I'm going to deliver 2 workshops in the next 6 months, or I'm going to deliver 3 new workshops in the next 6 months, whatever it is that works for you. Then number 4, and touching very briefly on SMART goals. SMART is an acronym, and if you know me, I love my acronyms. They have to be specific, they have to be measurable, they have to be attainable, they have to be realistic, and they have to be time-based. Okay, SMART goals, but we'll talk about that in a future episode. So now that you've set your stretching goal for yourself, we are on step 4, which is to create a timeline and targets. Oh my God, this is so important. And this is kind of make and break, because step 7 is going to be about accountability, little preview there, but this is one of the ways that you can start building in accountability for yourself. Okay. It is so important to have a timeline and to have targets. I've created one which literally just has the months going along the top, so July, August, September, October, November, December. And along the side, it's the projects that I'm doing, the activities that I'm doing, my main focus, not every little detail, the main big projects that are going to be generating me revenue, or that are going to be generating audience building, whatever my big metrics are. For me, it's my digital course. For me, it's workshops. For me, it's how many people are on my email list, Instagram, all Facebook, all of these sorts of things. So these are things that I track, and then I have a line that says target, and then I have a line that says actual in each box, and it's just a simple spreadsheet. So set something up for yourself, whatever works for you. Part of the course that I'm actually going to be doing, which I'm going to be launching in October, and I'm so excited to deliver for you, is all about productivity, and it's going to be a 4-week course, and we're going to really dive deep into this. And I'm going to give you templates. I'm going to give you all the worksheets done for you. So all you have to do is plug and play, and you're going to be able to set your goals, and you're going to be able to track them, and you're going to have a timeline of exactly when you're going to do what. And it's going to be fantastic. But in the meantime, try to set something up for yourself that is going to let you know what the targets are going to be for every month. Okay, so you have your big end of year target, right? What are the small things that have to happen every month in order to deliver those? Okay, so that is number 4. And then step number 5 is break down your targets into monthly and weekly activities. Okay, now I've talked about monthly planning before, but you want to look at the big picture, and you want to say, what am I doing every single month in order to make that goal happen? And then you look at the month and you say, what am I doing this week to get that goal done by the end of the month? What am I doing today? What are the top 3 things? And I talk about this a lot, and this is something else I'm going to cover in my course that is so, so, so important about to-do lists. People make loads and loads of to-do lists, okay? I was so guilty of this for so many years. I had to-do lists going in every single place, all right? I don't want you to make a to-do list. What I want you to do is write the 3 things that you are going to get done today. All right, I want this to be achievable, and I want this to be actionable. If you have a to-do list with 20 items on it, there is no way, my friend, you are going to get through those 20 items. It's just not going to happen. And you're going to get to the end of the day, and you're going to feel dejected, and you're going to feel like a failure, and you're going to feel like you didn't achieve things, even if you did achieve 4 items on the list. All right, what I want you to focus on is the 3 things that you need to get done today that is going to move the needle forward this week to achieve the goals that you have this month to make those big targets for the end of the year happen. Okay, so it's all tied in. So if you get those 3 things done and you have more time, that is gravy. Okay, you have more time, you work on something else. I'm sure you have lots of things to work on one of the other things, but you must get those 3 things done. You don't want a to-do list with 20 things. You want 3 things. You have more time, I'm sure there are lots of ways you can spend it. Okay, and then number 6 is track those results. Okay, so don't just make a timeline with targets and say, oh, that's nice, look at my beautiful spreadsheet. You want to track those results every month and understand them, analyze them, okay? I'm not talking about doing heavy lifting in the maths department. I'm not talking about, really diving in. I mean, that's a whole other topic as well, Google Analytics, SEO, there are all these different things. What I'm talking about is just looking at the difference between target and actual and what happened there, right? Just every month, take a look. What was my target? What was I supposed to do? And what actually happened? So if you hit your target, great. Now, what are the things that you did to make that a success? And let's do more of them. You didn't hit your target. Why didn't that happen? Not as a shaming thing, but as a learning thing. What didn't I do? Why didn't I hit this goal? What do I need to do more of? Or maybe this target isn't something that is realistic. Maybe I need to reassess it. All right? So you need to track those results. And then number 7, and this is a big one, and a lot of my clients struggle with this. It is accountability. Because when you are an entrepreneur working on your own and you're not in an office, you don't have a team, it is really hard to get that accountability. And it is really hard to get to the point where you see those projects through. And accountability is so important. So I am also in my course going to speak a lot to you about accountability. I may also do another workshop on accountability because I think it is so important. And I think it is something that we all struggle with, and I know that my clients struggle with it. And I know I've done a lot of market research recently. I've been doing lots of interviews, and universally, everyone struggles with accountability. So So one way that you can give yourself accountability is by setting those targets in place and tracking them, okay? Because then you can see the numbers, and the numbers aren't going to lie to you. Another thing you can do is you can get an accountability buddy, all right? So you can reach out to loads of Facebook groups you're in, or a colleague, or, you can on Instagram, whatever it is that you use social media and reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm looking for an accountability buddy. Is anybody in the same space who we can meet once a week? I have an accountability buddy. It is so important to have someone that you can, share that accountability with. Another thing you can do is join my Facebook group, Female Entrepreneurs Craving Time and Financial Freedom. And we provide accountability in the group. Every Sunday, I have a thread where you list the 3 things you're going to work on the next week, and we provide accountability for each other to check and see if you are doing those things. Okay, and there's follow through happening there. I love providing accountability for my clients, for my audience, and for my community. It is something that is so important, and it's hard to find. So I am here for you. So the link to my Facebook group is also going to be at the end of this live. And that brings me to the end of the lesson. So those are the 7 steps that you need to take to make a magical 6-month plan. And I want you to remember not to forget to click on the link to get my amazing resource, which is the 6 steps to for entrepreneurial women to do more in less time. Okay, and this is going to help you get laser focused on what activities you should be focusing on. So you look at the whole big picture. It's going to help you with that whole exercise to look at all the stuff that you do and really get laser focused on what is the 20% of the stuff that you do that generates 80% of the activity, and then focus on that. Look at your successes, look at your wins, and really use that as the beginning, as the framework of what you are going to do going forward. All right, I would love to hear how this goes for you. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments. Please feedback to me. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.